Okay, we're live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the very first ever Barrel 53 live video podcast. We are highlighting local artists, and today we have Trigger Trey.
What's going on, everybody?
Yes,
the energy over there.
Yeah, clapping is good. We like clapping.
Hell yeah, I'm hearing more. You work here. Yeah, dude. Come on, dude. There needs to be more alcohol flowing in this place. It's St. Patty's Day, dude.
It's St. Patty's Day, yes.
Yeah.
This
hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, huh? Hi, baby.
Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey. We're very excited to have the Barrel 53, the world famous Barrel 53, as our host site. So.
It's a lot more famous than I actually realized it would be. Whenever I heard about the open mic here, I was like, really? You know, the hotel bar, because then it's so far out, but it's like so many people and so many talented people come out this way for this and like comedy and whatnot, dude. I honestly, I've been to a lot of open mics. That's how I got my start, and real shit, it's like kind of insane how many people show up to this one versus all the other ones I've been to.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, you do a good job with it, Bob.
Hey, thanks, thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Tuesday nights, yeah, open mics here. It's awesome. So you're in a couple bands, right?
Yeah.
Dark Moon Hollow.
Yes, sir. Been doing Dark Moon Hollow for. Say somewhere, I think we just surpassed 8 years, but it might be 7.
It's a long time.
Yeah, we formed in December of 2018, and we were on the UK's campus off Euclid, and I wasn't going to school at that time, but yeah, my buddies I knew that we've been wanting to form a band, and so I ended up just hollering at the guys. Everybody played a different instrument: banjo, mandolin. I played dobro at the time. We had a guitar and a bass, and then we just put it together. And it actually took off pretty quickly. We were having I've had a blast with it ever since. I've had a lot of different members since then, but yeah, and it's taken me to places that I never thought I would go. It's given me a lot of opportunities that I'd never thought I'd see, and I'm very, very grateful for that.
That's awesome. That's what music does. It unites people.
Oh man, it really does. And I guess it's interesting to see. What made me kind of pursue it more was the fact that I kept meeting people that had such a cool story, and they would know people that I wanted to know, or and so I've always said that you're a person away from your hero, really, and
right.
Yeah, and so somebody probably knows the guy or whatever.
I'm sure you've heard of Michael Cleveland.
Yeah, he's from where I'm from.
That's cool. So yeah, my dad knows him pretty well.
Really?
And he'll go to Louisville and jam with him sometimes. It's pretty neat. So yeah.
Man, I was in New Year's of, I think it was 2020. It was before COVID, but in New Year's, I was in Louisville. I was taking an Uber.
Yeah.
And I get in the Uber. I'm trashed as shit. But I always talk to my Uber drivers whenever I'm trashed, and so I'd be I was like, man, what do you do? What do you do? And he asked me, he's like, well, what do you do? I was like, I play music. And he's like, really? What kind? And I was like, bluegrass. And he was like, really? And he's like, asked me the band. I told him, and then I was like, what do you do? And he's like, I play bluegrass music too. And I was like, well, with who? He's like, have you ever heard of Flamekeeper? And I was like, dog.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck you. That's insane.
That's awesome.
He just won a Grammy, and he's driving an Uber. I was like, man, I need to switch genres.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, I grew up in the bluegrass festivals pretty much, so it's been great. So, hey, why don't you play a song for us?
Okay. I forgot I have to speak into that. I usually do this one. This one's for my buddy James Reed. James, I know you can't hear anything. I love you, though. This one's for you, buddy. She said goodbye around 10 a.m. By noon, feels like she's gone again. I bet she's always felt she'd have to walk alone. Sometimes goodbye, it ain't goodbye. It's till I see you again. Just know you'll always, and I mean always, have a friend. Ain't that the way that we know these things to go? Find love, you hold it close, then you let it go. You're not alone, and I know how you feel. This path you're on is your own, and time will heal. is letting go. The seed we sown, it couldn't take. It doesn't mean we didn't turn the soil for the sake of seeing it might pop up just because. And then a heart, it planted roots, grew some leaves out of a shoot, and then a rose popped through the cracks, and it came to be. Ain't that the way that we've known these things to go? You find a love, you hold it close, you let it go. 'Cause you're not alone, and I know how you feel. This path you're on is your own, and time will heal. The tears you've cried, well, they'll dry, and you'll rise like the morning sun. Sometimes loving is letting go.
Let's hear it.
Thanks, guys. That song's called For the Sake of the Soil. You're going to find out throughout this that I write songs about women that I get with, and then we break up, and I repeat the process. Every time I do that, every time I break up with one of the chicks, one of my friends is just like, man, I'm so sorry you're going through it, but man, we get more music. And I'm like, I'm glad that you guys can support it.
I've been there. Yes, as a songwriter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That was really good, man.
Thank you, man.
Good vibe. Good words, too. I liked it. Very cool.
Thank you. You know what's funny? That song, whenever I wrote it for this girl, and then we went into the studio, recorded it, and she's a lovely person. Ended up going in. My bandmates didn't know, but it was her birthday the next day. So I gifted it to her for her birthday, and I said, you get to name it. So she named it, too.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Special. Awesome. So, as a child, I mean, most musicians always, like, have something as a kid that stands out with music, you know, even if they don't start as a kid, you know. So like, once you start playing guitar, I mean, and all that, and
well, I end up I played sports my entire life. I know I don't really have the look, but
There's no look.
Yeah, I was, but I mean, my hair hasn't always been this long, but we got out of high school. I didn't go pro. That was my initial career path, I thought, and then doctor didn't work out, and so I ended up finding guitar. I started working for a production company, and I went to some festivals. I found bluegrass music, and I was like, this is the truth. And so picked up guitar, and then I was about 9 years ago, I'd say, and just loved doing it. And ever since then, it's actually really led me down the coolest path. I say all the time I have the coolest job in the world.
Yeah, I mean. That definitely.
Yeah.
You play really, really fluid for just 8 years. I mean, so yeah.
I like improv is the coolest thing, and I can't understand theory on a number scale. I was really terrible at math. I failed algebra 2 3 times, and I just gave up.
Only 3?
Yeah, I never got to algebra 3. I just failed it 3 times. That's what I call it. That's what they should call it now at this point.
Some people have that math brain, others don't.
Yeah, I'm more left-brained if you believe in that shit, but I'm more left-brained.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, so you do some music with another band too, right? Tyler Ray Miniard.
Yeah.
And you guys are called The State Line.
Yeah. So we, my buddy, it's a crazy story. I'm not sure. There's this thing called Appalachia Untold. My buddy John Price does it, and he did a video for Tyler. And Tyler, they posted on there. Well, Zach Bryan ended up finding it, and then just seeing it on it, he retweets it. Then they end up giving him a call later that day, and they're like, "Hey, we want to sign you. Would you like to fly out here?" So he flies out to Dodger Stadium on New Year's. It was Zach and Sierra Farrell opening it. And
wow.
He gets out there. They wine and dine him, and then he ends up going over like some talks for a little bit. He finally signs the contract. Well, then he needed a band to play and needed some albums, and so my band, Dark Moon Hollow, ends up backing him, and
wow.
yeah, it's been a really
That's so cool.
It's weird, like it's something's just really happened, and that is by far the biggest anomaly I've ever heard of in the music industry.
Cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's more country leaning, and I've been producing his shit, and it's been a really neat thing. It's cool to say that I've like produced for a major label.
That's insanely awesome.
Yeah, I feel like that's like kind of the next step in my career anyway. Like
cool.
Starting to get there.
Yeah. Do you do mostly local stuff now, or are you just doing everywhere?
Man, we play from Wisconsin down to the furthest south I think we've ever been is like the Delta in Mississippi. That's also probably the furthest west. I like to get out to like Colorado and stuff like that. They're huge on bluegrass, but country music you can really take. It's so much more like palatable. Like really, like
as far as if Billy, you want to say mainstream or whatever, but it doesn't have to be. But
I'd say Billy Strings is like the best guitarist like alive, like right now, at least the most like improvisational and like just most palatable.
Oh yeah.
But like he doesn't really have like the biggest following, but every musician knows who he is.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's yeah.
But you can take country music and you can put it anywhere, and they listen to any of that shit. You know what I mean? But like Tyler's really good.
That's cool. So do you guys write songs together, or writing most of your songs on your own, or?
I'd say that over the course of the years, I guess with Dark Moon anyway, I know that I write all my songs together. Sometimes there's been a time or two where Riley, my mandolin player, who is phenomenal, and I genuinely believe, I was telling you earlier, but I genuinely believe that Riley Logan might be the best mandolin player alive. And
on
not
the
just
planet right now.
Yes, and not even I know it might sound biased, which I'm sure it is, but I have not seen anybody do what he does.
That's cool.
But that being said, he's written a couple of songs. I've written half of each album that we've had, and we've had another guy. We've had another guy, Ryan Allen, write some songs, but that was on the first album. But it's a culmination of things, and I've ended up finding that out over time.
That's cool. You have a show on 13th, right?
April 13th, but up at Two Vista Willie's.
Sweet. Place is cool. Sweet. So, want to play something else?